But it also says no scheduling for Everglades base manual transmission until third quarter. And Badlands with optional wheel is balanced out for the entire year. Scheduling information, it's a little thick today, so I'll tell you why. So we're going to talk about what's supposed to be scheduling this week, which isn't much, but then we'll also talk about information that we gained from the Ford dealer information at the beginning of the month with other things that are possibly scheduling too. And I do have the capacity list if we need to review it on any model. So we're going to go through this, but before we do, retail order banks for which here's the different model lines that the order banks are open. So if you're thinking about putting an order on a vehicle, I'll let you know which ones are open. So the 23, actually the Mustang order banks are not open right now. The 24 model year should open up March 27th along with Bronco. That could be a fun day. The Escape gas and hybrid is open right now. The plug-in is not open. Bronco Sport is open, so you can order Bronco Sport. Edge Mustang Mach-E is open for select trims, and I'm actually going to talk about that in a little bit. So you cannot order a select or a premium, but for a GT or California Route 1 you can. Bronco is not open. March 27th is when it should open up for new orders. Explorer is open. Expedition is open. Maverick is not, sold out in 5 days back in September. A lot of people ask, when are the order banks going to open up for 24? Not for a while, so just sit tight. It's going to be after the end of the summer probably. Ranger is not open right now. We think the order bank for 24 was going to open up around May 26th. There is some information that guides us to believe that. F-150, but Ford has not publicly said anything, and that's one question I'll ask Mike Levine tomorrow night. When is 24 Ranger going to open up? So F-150 is open right now. Super Duty is open for XL, XLT, and Lariat trims only. No tonneau covers. Ditch the parts. Transit Connect van is not open. It's closed, but Transit Connect wagon is open. E-Transit is open. Transit partially open, only for the Trail Edition. So I actually had people, I had a dealer reach out to me and asked how they can find that. And it's special body. There's like 3 body codes that you have to select before you can find the Trail package. It's a package. It's not its own trim. So you know that. All right. So let's talk about Mustang. So the 24 Mustang is not scheduling this week. This is still considered February's scheduling. So for those of you that are new to the channel, want to know what's scheduling mean. If you have an order in the order bank and you're wanting to get scheduled for production date, then the order has to be scheduled for a production date in the future. So, and we'll talk about what that looks like for the next month. So they're not scheduling for the Mustang this week. For March, which will start next week, it is the startup of 24 for scheduling for April. But I do have it in good authority that they actually are building a few of those 24 Mustangs. They're probably pre-production vehicles that are being sent out to journalists and for marketing and that kind of thing. But they're building about one every 70 vehicles or so, from what I understand.
Yep.
Anyway, 24 Escape. Oh, and some information on the Mustang. The ones that are being built and being scheduled for are actually early production vehicles. So the plant is scheduling, but that doesn't necessarily mean dealers can put orders in or anything like that. So that's kind of how that'll work. So they won't start scheduling right away when the order bank's open for dealers. But what they're doing is they're scheduling for those early builds that dealers don't have a choice on what they get. Every dealership is supposed to get one early build. So, and then every dealer will get at least one. I actually just mentioned that. And then also dealers should get their number of how many allocations they're supposed to get. We're supposed to get somewhere around 38 Mustangs it's an 18-month run for 24, and 5, we're supposed to get 5 dark horses as well. So moving on, Escape. There's no scheduling for 23 Escape this week. I think they're hoping that next week is when the plant can be up and running again. I think they figured out what they need to do there. That plant's been on hold for a little bit. They are not scheduling for the month of next month, probably because they were on a 1-month hold So they still have orders in there that need to be scheduled for coming up. So they're not scheduling for the entire month of March. So 23 Bronco Sport is not scheduling this week. And start of next week is March production, and they'll be starting on job 2. And so a lot of these models will break off after job 1 to job 2 if they need to make any changes to anything. And one of the changes that they made to job 2 for the Bronco Sport is Badlands is now a retail only. Retail means only a custom order. So we can't order any stock Bronco Sport Badlands in the rest of the year. So for job 2. Also, Heritage Limited is no longer available for this model year. Again, that 1,966 units is a 2-year run. So about half of that is already been scheduled for this year, and then they'll start producing the rest. So job 2 will not include any Heritage Limited editions. Cargo management system has been removed from all but 2 orderable configurations. Although Heritage Edition is one. We did find that out on William, who's one of our members, on their order. Black Diamond and underbody protection will be a late availability for the Bronco Sport. Trailer tow remains constrained. So if you're wanting a trailer tow, it's going to be very limited on that. And something that's not noted here that we found out is that the Outer Banks and the Badlands no longer have a standard black roof. It is now standard body color roof. So really, other than the grille and a few other accents, you won't be able to tell that between a Big Bend in a sense. But you can get the optional black roof or optional carbonized gray on the Badlands if you want that. But now it's optional to go to that roof. So again, I kind of mentioned that several months ago, and now it's actually in play. 23 Edge. It is not scheduling this week. For March, which starts next week, they are not scheduling as well for March for the Edge. So Edge is very limited on how many retail orders are in there anyway. So that's being held up. Also, 23 Bronco. Let's talk about that for a second. They are going to be scheduling this week. It does say U.S. retail, and I couldn't figure out what this means. Even asked the general manager, he didn't know. FOC, FOM scheduling only. You guys know what that means? Maybe it's just something that's just not clicking with me, abbreviations of something. But it also says no scheduling for Everglades base manual transmission until 3rd quarter. And Badlands with optional wheel is balanced out for the entire year. So if you want a Badlands with that optional wheel, it is not available for new orders. So keep that in mind as well. And that's at this time. That's what the note's telling me. Now, if they change it, that's not on me. But the note for this, for our notes for that, is some of the key commodities. Molded and hardtop is about 67% for that. The 2-door is 15% capacity on that. The 2.7 liter is 65%. So they plan to build 65% 2.7s, 35% 2.3 liters. Wild Track is up from 15% to 23%. So that's actually a big jump. It jumped up. Sasquatch also went up from 40% to 42% capacity, but luxury package went down from 40 to 36%. So if you're wanting a luxury package, be ready to wait. So that's all I'm going to say there. Also, today was the deadline for COVP. So hopefully your dealership COVP'd your order. All of ours are done. And then they're saying anything after today, if it's not COVP'd, it'll be canceled. So if there's a Webdo order in there for a 23 and they can't match it up with the COVP, it will be canceled. That's what they're saying. Also, name match policy will be reinstated. We'll get more details. They are going to have a webcast the week of March 20th with probably information about name match as well as the order banks, because they did say in here, order bank opening March 27th, and it says for select trims. I saw that somewhere. Where did I see that? Oh, right here. It does say if customer chooses, yeah, I'm not sure where I saw that somewhere with, they said select trims will be available March 27th. So that means that there may be some, like Heritage Unlimited, of course, is not going to be available. We don't know about Everglades or Heritage Edition. I assume Everglades will be available because they're saying they won't be, they've actually scheduled all of the Everglades right now. So my thinking is that Everglades will be available because they're saying they're not going to schedule any until Q3, which leads me to believe they will let you order an Everglades.
What's COVP?
It's Customer Order Verification Program.
Yes.
So your dealer should know all about it.
Basically, it proves that a real person ordered it.
Yep. Yeah, it requires the driver's license. You have to fill out, sign the order sheet and everything. So it proves that it's a real order there. All right, moving on to 23 Explorer. No scheduling this week. And for March, they are scheduling for May production dates. So they'll schedule March for 2 months out from that for May production dates. So the only note in here is that base 100A and hybrid are retail orders only. So makes sense. 23 Expedition, they are scheduling this week, April cleanup, so they have some orders to put in there. And then March will be for May production information or May production dates. A lot of different constraints on those. Maybe check with your dealer, but this I'd encourage you to add the heavy duty trailer tow package to your Expedition order. And it doesn't mention in here that there's a problem with the extended length anymore. So that was a constraint for a while and it's no longer now. So that's good. Mahogany seats are still not available for scheduling. So keep that in mind. Maverick. Got a question?
If you have a question, drop it in the Q&A.
Pop it in there, and we know that some of this information will trigger your questions. Let's put it in there, and we'll get to those, and she can even see those questions.
Because we tend to just go right on through all the information, and then get to the questions at the end.
Yep. So, all right. So Maverick, no scheduling this week. Again, this is still February's allocations we're using. A lot of dealers have already used all their allocations. And then if they didn't, then they probably have a constraint item on their orders. For March, it will be scheduling for May production dates. And some of the key constraints, trailer hitch as well as a big one. We did see some orders being overlooked from that. Splash guards and the trifold bed cover and the load box bed liner. That is that tray liner. And so not the drop-in liner, it's the tray liner that sits on the bottom. So, and still going to say it, and Ford can get back at me if they want, but ditch the hitch, take off your tonneau covers, take off your splash guards, take those accessories off of yours, have your dealership get them for you and put them on. So Ford will say, oh, they want to encourage it because they want the money for it. So they have people putting on these accessories and everything because they want people to be excited to put them on their order and put those on at the factory, but that will hold you up. Now let's think about this. If you have, and for those that from Ford that's calling our general manager and everybody else, saying, hey, don't say that stuff on the live stream. Well, here's the deal. You have 3,200 dealers out there that can put bed covers on. You can get a lot more put on at the dealer than you can at the factory with however many workers you have there. Right now, like Super Duty is a great case in point. Spray and bed liner and tonneau covers are two constraint items that in fact, they closed off orders for tonneau covers altogether. So it's a great point to leave those accessories off. Just depends. If you're willing to wait and possibly get pushed to 24, then leave it on there. But if you want to get your vehicle, take off the tonneau cover, take off those accessories, and have your dealership get them for you. So I'm still going to hold to that. Since I'm always a very transparent person. I care about the customer, and the dealership's paying my salary, not Ford. So at this point, so anyway, so hopefully it doesn't come back to fire me, but. That's just the way it is. I'm just wanting to be transparent with everybody. Something that did come up into the information here is that the trimmer package is now going to be available for stock orders. I am just the messenger. said that Thursday night on the Facebook Live. I'm just the messenger. We will not order any stock Mavericks. If people are wondering if they have an order with us, we have enough retail orders for the Maverick trimmer. We don't plan to. And I'll tell you why Ford's doing this is because their capacity is 8% for the Maverick, and that's how many they want to produce, and they can't produce based on the drivetrain they have and some of the different parts and accessories, wheels, and that kind of thing to be able to produce 8%. They're way within under capacity, and so that's why they want more orders for that, and that's why they're asking dealers to put in stock orders. There are going to be some dealers out there that maybe they can't get an order scheduled, or they have more allocations because of how they earn their allocations than what they have Maverick orders. I still think they should give those over to other dealers that have orders, instead. But just kind of remember that that's a possibility that could happen. So we'll see how that works. Also, it says not to forget those canceled orders that are Party 99 to get those canceled if they're not good orders, or flip them from 99 down to 10. So you want to make sure you do that as well. Oh, there's Expedition. Cut that out of order. Next is the 23 Ranger. 23 Ranger is not scheduling this week. And March scheduling will be for May production dates. And let's see what else. We think that on May 26th or so, that's when we'll be able to order. The order banks will open up for the 24 Ranger. So, which will be pretty cool. And it looks like maybe August is when they'll start launching production for that as well. So, now, of course, order banks are closed for 23 Ranger. Scheduling will resume the week of March 20th. So, actually won't schedule for a while, but they'll start scheduling March 20th. F-150, March cleanup scheduling. So there will be some F-150 scheduled this week for March production dates, I think, or actually usually about a month out for that. And then next month, starting next week, they'll be scheduling for April production dates. And so here's some of the constraints. So the commodities is Super Crew 75%, which is a big number because I had been down. And so it looks like next month they're going to be back to scheduling Super Cruise. And then the engines for that, 2.7 liter V6 EcoBoost is 30%. The 3.5 liter EcoBoost is 40%. The hybrid is 15%, and the 5.0 is 15%. And black appearance package. If you have any of the black appearance packages, XLT is 8%. So what I'm saying is if you have that on there, only 8% of the ones that are going to be scheduled will have the black appearance package on their orders. So it will take longer for those appearance packages. Lariat's only 2%. Platinum is 1%. And the STX appearance package is 2%. So keep that in mind as well for that. And then for this week, for scheduling, they need regular cab and super cab orders without STX appearance package, no moonroofs, no power tailgates, no STX appearance packages or black appearance package, and no chrome appearance packages, and no 17-inch all-season tires. So they're very limited on what they can schedule for this week. So just keep that in mind as well. And on the F-150 Lightning, Wave 8 should launch already. They actually said tentative date was 3/2. I didn't see any of our orders selected yet, or our reservations selected yet, so I don't think it's opened yet, and haven't seen anything in the Lightning form. Have you seen anything in the Lightning form about Wave 8? No?
I haven't yet.
So probably hasn't launched yet, but they are saying when it does launch, XLT configuration will be available. So those of you that have been holding off on that, you had an order invite and you've been holding off for the XLT, be looking in there. I'd go in there every single day if I were you into your order to see if you could order an XLT. So just look for that and see, because that should open up real soon. They're saying estimated deliveries for XLT orders is April to December of 23. Lariat is April to July of 23, and Platinum is April to July of 23. So there you go. So, and be quick on that XLT build because they will sell out and it will close again, just like it did before. So, and then also a reminder on the Lightning was about price protection and private offers. There are a lot of dealers confused on this because they think if somebody had a 22, they got pushed to 23, they earn that private offer, that's all they get. But that's not true because there was 2 price increases on the Pro version in the fall. They would get the price that was at the time that they ordered. So in this note actually says in here, price protection protects the vehicle price if there is a price action within the model year. It says the price is protected to the price level at the time of order. All right, dealers, at the time of order, so assuming no changes to the body code or the PEP code. That's your package, which you can't really change it a lot of times on that, especially on XLT. And then it says price protection is paid automatically to the dealer 30 to 45 days later after they report the sale, and it does have to match to the person. So whoever ordered the vehicle has to be the one that buys it. So, and then of course, private offer would be any private offer was available from one model year to the next, and that's called a transition private offer. So I guess there are a lot of dealers out there on the Lightning. I've had a lot of emails on that from customers wanting me to help explain it so they could, hey, do you have anything in writing that I could take to my dealer and show them to prove to them that they need to give me both of those? And so I have given them some information. So dealers, sorry, but evidently I keep copies of this stuff, so I know where they're at, and so I pass that on to those customers. So 23 Super Duty, unlimited scheduling for job 1 this week. It's build out for job 1. We're moving on to job 2, so that's good to know. They did say April or for April production dates was going to be job 2. So March they're going to be scheduling for April production, and it's going to be job 2 startup. So people are asking, well, what about shipping out the vehicles you've already built? So that shouldn't be happening anytime. We don't know when. Ford hasn't told us, but just keep that in mind. So for this week, they're not going to be course scheduling for probably the last week. I'll say this: King Ranch, Platinum, or Limiteds. Those are all job 2s, as well as some other different options that were only available in job 2, like the XLT and Lariat Black Appearance Package. That's a job 2. So those won't schedule this week. And then limited scheduling on 360-degree camera, as well as the split bench seat for the front bench seat. That'd be on XLTs for the most part. And then limited 7.3 liter engine, not 3.7. All right. Transit Connect van, no scheduling this week, no scheduling next month. Transit Connect wagon, no scheduling this week, no scheduling next month. They'll just take a little longer still. And then on the Transit, April cleanup scheduling, they need the e-Transit orders, and then they are scheduling next month, which starts next week, for May production dates. And there are a lot of constraints in there for the Transit, so you'll want to get with your dealers on whether or not yours has any kind of commodity. So if you have your dealer look and see if there's an unscheduled compatibility, then that means there's something in there that can't be built, and you need to make that change to make it an unscheduled clean order for your order. Mach-E, no scheduling this week and no scheduling next month. Again, job 2 is going to start up, and maybe now is the best time to kind of talk about this. Remember, the Select and Premium models have closed down. So they're closed for job 2. They're going to open back up for job 2. And here's kind of what I'm thinking on this. So I'm going to kind of go over here to this. Is that right? There we go. So Automotive News actually put an article out about the batteries. Ford to sell EVs with 2 types of batteries depending on customer needs. So this is supposed to start happening for the Mach-E this spring. I think it's going to be a job 2 start. So I think the reason they closed off the Select and the Premium is for those that want a standard battery, because California Route 1 is the extended battery. So they're going to continue to build those batteries the same way they are, as well as the GT. But the Select and Premium will have an option of going the standard battery or the extended range. And so I think they're going to have an option between 2 different batteries, because now they're going to start producing these in the less expensive lithium iron phosphate chemistry into the Mach-E. And I believe that's going to be on the those types of different trims. And I think that's why they're closing it off and they're going to open it up. So if you thought maybe, hey, I might want to wait for that one that might be less expensive and also less susceptible to the cold weather, maybe that's an option for those that want a standard range. Maybe you want to hold off to job 2, which it's closed now anyway. So that's your option. But it might be something to think about. Well, maybe if that comes available. So we'll have to see what job 2 is going to look like. I'm assuming order guides will be available here maybe this next month. But it's something definitely to look at. I'm excited to see what this is going to look like here in the next month for job 2, because the Mach-E is supposed to get this rolling out this spring. And then transition to the F-150 Lightning possibly in 2024. So anyway, kind of want to highlight that there for you.